Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into how two of the most powerful technologies of our time, AI and blockchain, are actually coming together to solve one of the biggest challenges we face, trust.
Just imagine getting a call like this. It is a terrifyingly real deepfake scam that is already happening. With just a few seconds of audio from social media, a voice can be cloned so convincingly, it's impossible to tell the difference. This really gets to the heart of the crisis of trust we're all stepping into, a world where we can no longer be sure if what we see and hear is even real.
So how in the world do we solve this? Well, in this explainer, we're going to first unpack this crisis of trust. Then we'll introduce the key piece of infrastructure we need for truth. We'll see how this power couple is already at work, take a look under the hood at the architecture that makes it all possible, and then finally, we'll try to envision a more trustworthy future. Okay, let's dive right in. Now, while those deepfakes are a really scary and visible part of the problem, the core issue, it runs much, much deeper. It's really a systemic problem of accountability, and it's growing with every single new AI application that touches our lives. On one hand, AI's ability to learn and predict it's revolutionary. But here's the catch. All that intelligence comes with a huge blind spot, accountability. Its decision-making process is often what people call a black box, which just means when something inevitably goes wrong, it's nearly impossible to trace the why and figure out who's actually responsible. This slide here, it just perfectly illustrates this accountability gap. Think of it like a tangled maze. An AI makes a bad call. Maybe it denies an insurance claim or it scrapes some intellectual property. Well, trying to find the source of that error is like navigating this maze. Was it the data? Was it the model? The user's prompt? See, without a clear, unalterable audit trail, we're just left with a huge mess of unanswered questions, and accountability becomes pretty much impossible. So this huge problem, it actually brings us to a potential solution, and it comes from another technology that's often hyped up. Let's take a look at how blockchain can provide the very infrastructure for truth that AI so desperately needs. At its absolute core, blockchain is a technology built for one thing: trust. It's kind of like a shared digital logbook. And the revolutionary part is that once a transaction or a piece of data is entered, it gets cryptographically sealed. It cannot be changed. It cannot be deleted. This creates a permanent, verifiable record of what happened, when it happened, and who was involved. And this slide just brilliantly shows their synergy. You see, they aren't competitors. They are perfect complements. AI provides the dynamic intelligence, the predictions and the automation. But blockchain provides the verifiable, tamper-proof record of how that intelligence was created and used in the first place. I absolutely love this quote from KPMG because it creates such a clear mental image. In this analogy, blockchain is basically the bouncer for AI. It's checking the ID of the data that's coming in to make sure it's from a verified source. It logs every single action and decision the AI makes inside, and it makes sure intellectual property is respected, not just scraped without permission on the way out. All right, so let's get out of the theory and see how this is actually playing out in the real world. Because this isn't just theoretical. This convergence is already creating real value in high-stakes industries where both automation and accountability are completely non-negotiable. Healthcare is a perfect example of where this is so desperately needed. Today, our patient data is fragmented, it's siloed, it's all over the place. This model flips the script entirely. The patient owns their data on a blockchain. They can use programmable consent to grant specific providers access for specific reasons. An AI can then provide a suggestion, and that entire interaction, from the consent to the recommendation, is logged on an immutable audit trail. It's accountable, and most importantly, it puts the patient back in control. And the economic impact? It's just staggering. Take supply chains, a sector that's expected to grow immensely. Companies like Walmart are already using blockchain to track food from the farm to the shelf, creating transparency and safety like we've never seen before. In finance, the impact is even bigger. PwC forecasts that blockchain will add a whopping $433 billion to the global GDP by 2030, mostly by creating new levels of trust and efficiency. This also offers a real solution for the creator economy. Right now, AI models are often trained by just scraping data without anyone's permission or compensation. By logging creative works on a blockchain, artists can establish verifiable proof of ownership. This creates a system where AI can ethically access training data, and creators are automatically and fairly compensated when their work is used. It turns what is now a parasitic relationship into a symbiotic one. So what does the underlying architecture for these systems actually look like? Well, it's all about building accountability in from the ground up, instead of, trying to bolt it on later. The ideal architecture, it isn't a one-way street. It's this beautiful, self-reinforcing loop. Blockchain provides that tamper-proof audit trail, right? That makes the AI's actions transparent and trustworthy. And in return, a smart AI can monitor the blockchain itself, detecting unusual patterns and strengthening its security. You see? Each technology makes the other one better. Now, it's really important to be clear-eyed here. We're not talking about running these massive AI models on the blockchain itself. The dominant real-world model is a hybrid, and it uses the best of both worlds, the speed and power of centralized AI combined with the security and trust of decentralized verification. All right, let's bring this all home and look at the path forward. The conversation, it's really matured from just hype to a serious discussion about building essential, trustworthy infrastructure for our entire digital world. This timeline really shows the evolution in thinking. Around 2017, just putting AI and blockchain in the same sentence was enough to generate buzz. By 2021, the hype cycle was in full swing with crypto and NFTs. But now we're entering a much more mature phase. The focus is shifting away from hype and toward the quiet, essential work of building foundational infrastructure for critical systems in healthcare and finance and beyond. And this shift in thinking is so critical. It's no longer an either-or choice. The real strategic question for any organization is about identifying where you simply cannot afford to have automation without a verifiable record of accountability. So this is the question I really want to leave you with. This isn't about some distant future. It's a strategic choice that's facing leaders right now. Where in your world does automation absolutely demand accountability? For any system where intelligence and trust are non-negotiable, this combination of AI and blockchain, it isn't just some novel trend. It's the new foundation. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.